Today we're examining a pivotal speech delivered by Charles Hoskinson at TOKEN2049 Singapore 2024. Hoskinson, a prominent figure in the cryptocurrency space, shared significant insights about the future direction of blockchain technology. Hoskinson begins by highlighting recent developments in Cardano, noting major upgrades that focus on governance and on-chain representation.
I've been very reflective in the last decade because Cardano just went through a major upgrade. We embraced governance. We embraced on-chain representation. For the last 2 years, the ecosystem has been working very closely together, workshops in dozens of countries, people from all around the world trying to figure out how do you build an online government.
The concept of an online government for a blockchain ecosystem is particularly intriguing.
That allows you, as an ecosystem, to make decisions about budgets and roadmaps, upgrades.
It suggests a level of user involvement and decentralized decision-making that goes beyond typical blockchain operations. However, Hoskinson's speech goes beyond Cardano's recent achievements. He presents a broader perspective on the evolution of blockchain technology, categorizing its development into distinct generations. In this video, we'll analyze Hoskinson's speech, exploring his thoughts on the past, present, and future of blockchain technology. Most importantly, we'll explore Hoskinson's vision for the fourth generation of blockchain and what it could mean for the future of cryptocurrency and decentralized systems. Let's dive right in.
See, I think about cryptocurrencies in terms of generations. I've been in this space for so long, I was actually in the middle of the very first generation, Bitcoin.
Hoskinson's perspective on blockchain generations provide a useful framework for understanding the technology's evolution.
So in 2010, 2011, nobody was in it for the money. I know that because there was no money. We had to buy our own coffee. Nobody knew what Bitcoin was. They thought it was a cult. Probably still is.
By breaking down the development of blockchain into distinct phases, we can better appreciate the challenges and innovations that have shaped the industry. The first generation, centered around Bitcoin, was characterized by idealism and a focus on decentralization. Let's hear Hoskinson's recollection of those early days.
And what was fun about it and exciting about it is that we had these broad aspirations and goals of where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. It was the cypherpunk movement that came from the 1980s.
This description paints a picture of a revolutionary movement driven by ideological goals rather than financial goals.
Information moves instantaneously, so money should. Email for money, let's do that. Then Bitcoin started catching on. First generation was about decentralization, disintermediation, this idea of being your own bank. Mission accomplished.
The comparison of Bitcoin to email for money encapsulates the visionary nature of this first generation. It's worth noting that this idealism laid the groundwork for all subsequent developments in the blockchain space. However, as with any new technology, limitations became apparent as Bitcoin gained traction. These limitations paved the way for the second generation of blockchain technology. Hoskinson describes this transition.
So, the second generation came, and the second generation was about smart contracts, programmability. Eureka! At the time, everybody thought we were crazy. But in hindsight, it was like when JavaScript came to the web browser. You had these static websites, they could be pretty, but you couldn't do much with them.
The introduction of smart contracts marked a significant leap forward in blockchain technology. By enabling programmable transactions, smart contracts opened up a world of possibilities beyond simple value transfer.
JavaScript comes and you have Amazon, and you have Facebook, and you have Google. You have all these amazing things. Eureka! Awesome!
Hoskinson's comparison to the impact of JavaScript on web development is particularly apt, illustrating how this innovation created new opportunities for blockchain applications. The arrival of smart contracts led to the creation of dApps and DeFi platforms. These innovations have the potential to disrupt traditional financial systems and create new economic models. However, as these applications grew in popularity, new challenges emerged, leading to the third generation of blockchain technology.
Okay. So, the third generation comes in, and there's tons of booths all around, you see them, and they talk about scalability and interoperability and governance.
The third generation focuses on addressing the limitations of earlier blockchains, particularly in terms of scalability, interoperability, and governance.
You have your Swees. Congratulations on Circle. Missing anyone? You have your Aptos. You have all of these people, Algorand, Solana, and yes, Cardano. And we're all fighting, and we're in the middle part of the third generation.
These issues became apparent as blockchain networks grew, and more complex applications were built on top of them. Briefly, scalability refers to a blockchain's ability to handle a large amount of transactions quickly and efficiently. As networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum became more popular, they faced congestion issues, leading to slow transaction times and high fees. Third-generation blockchains aim to solve these problems through various technical innovations. Interoperability addresses the challenge of different blockchain networks communicating and working together seamlessly. As the number of blockchain projects has grown, the need for these networks to interact has become increasingly important. Governance, as mentioned earlier in the context of Cardano's upgrades, refers to how decisions are made about the future development and management of a blockchain network. This aspect has become crucial as blockchain projects have grown and become more complex. Hoskinson's mention of various projects highlights the competitive and diverse nature of the third generation. Each of these projects takes a different approach to solving the challenges of scalability, interoperability, and governance, leading to a rich ecosystem of blockchain solutions. However, despite the advancements made in the third generation, Hoskinson argues that a fourth generation is necessary.
So what is the fourth generation? Do we need one? What do we care about? Well, you'll hear lots of terms like real-world assets, okay, security tokens, DAOs, business on the blockchain, all these things.
Hoskinson points out that despite much discussion, the integration of real-world assets and business onto blockchain platforms remains elusive.
Why don't we have them? It's like the flying car, it's like fusion, it's always 5 years away. Don't worry. Trillions of dollars are waiting. They'll come into our industry. Why can't we get there?
This gap between the potential of blockchain technology and its real-world implementation is a critical issue that the fourth generation aims to address. The concept of tokenizing real-world assets, whether they're physical assets like real estate or intangible assets like intellectual property, has been a long-standing promise of blockchain technology. However, the complexities involved in bridging the digital and physical worlds have proven challenging. Similarly, while decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, have shown promise in creating new models of organizational governance, their widespread adoption has been limited. The challenges of operating a business entirely on the blockchain, with all the legal and practical consideration that entails, have proven to be significant hurdles. Hoskinson argues that to overcome these challenges and truly bring blockchain technology into the mainstream, we need to address two key issues: privacy and identity.
Here's the problem. Blockchains are super awesome at public stuff. They're auditable, timestamped, transparent, mutable.
Hoskinson makes a compelling case for the need for privacy and identity solutions in blockchain technology.
Good, great. You put it there like a domain name service. You put something there like a financial transaction. Everybody in the world can see it, believe it, it has integrity. Awesome.
The transparency that is often touted as a benefit of blockchain can be a significant barrier to adoption for many real-world use cases.
But what about the private stuff? What do we do with that? Do you like running a business where all your HR is public? You like running a business where all the money in the cash registers is public?
Business and individuals need the ability to keep certain information private, even when using a blockchain network.
How many people want all their Google searches to be public? Show of hands. Nobody? What about Amazon purchases? What about your political preferences? What about who you voted for in the election? Turns out that privacy is kind of part of the deal.
The issue of identity is equally crucial.
The second challenge is in the legacy financial world, and frankly, the real world, you don't have this idea of transactions without identity. You don't have this idea of businesses and no identity, assets and no identity.
In the traditional world, identity is fundamental to how we conduct business, enforce contracts, and interact with government systems.
So, where is this in crypto? We have accounts. We have UTXO, we have transactions, and we have metadata, but where's the identity primitive of these types of things?
The lack of a robust identity system in the blockchain world is a significant obstacle to integrating blockchain technology with existing and legal financial systems.
The legacy world has spent centuries regulating and optimizing and figuring out how to answer the question who, how to adjudicate the question of who, the dispute resolution systems and the property rights systems and the transnational agreements. The cryptocurrency space doesn't.
To address these challenges, Hoskinson introduces a new upgrade called Midnight.
So, 6 years of hard work, we created something called Midnight. October 1st of this year, it's reaching the test net. It's been in the dev net for a little while, and if you go to midnight.network, you can build on it.
Midnight appears to be Hoskinson's attempt to address the privacy and identity challenges he identifies as crucial for the fourth generation of blockchain technology.
And the first thing we figured out on how to do with Midnight is we created a private smart contract stack called Kachina. And you can write smart contracts in TypeScript. Anybody can do that. It's a pretty simple language.
By enabling privacy smart contracts, Midnight could potentially bridge the gap between the transparency of blockchain and the privacy needs of real-world applications. The use of TypeScript for writing smart contracts is also noteworthy. By using a widely known programming language, Midnight could lower the barrier to entry for developers, potentially accelerating the development of applications on the platform. Hoskinson also outlines a unique distribution model for Midnight.
Do something called a glacier drop.
This distribution model, which Hoskinson calls a glacier drop, is an interesting approach to ensuring wide distribution of the new token.
So, you take 135 million accounts across all the major cryptocurrencies, you just airdrop to them.
By airdropping to accounts across multiple cryptocurrencies, Midnight could potentially tap into a large, diverse user base from its inception.
And if people want it, they mine it. In the process of mining it, they launch the network. So that's how you get a fair distribution, right? Everybody gets it. Everybody has it.
Hoskinson also introduces a new consensus mechanism for Midnight.
And here's the other beautiful part about that. In the process of doing this, we invented a new protocol called Minotaur. We wrote it with Shireen, who went on to create EigenLayer with the technology, and we created Midnight with it. And it's called Minotaur, and it's multi-resource consensus.
The concept of multi-resource consensus is intriguing and could potentially offer advantages over existing consensus mechanisms. However, as with any new technology, it'll need to be thoroughly tested and proven in real-world conditions. Hoskinson envisions the fourth generation of blockchain technology as the key to unlocking the full potential of blockchain across various industries.
And it's the generation that opens up the floodgates and allows us to finally have the trillions of dollars of real-world assets that are waiting on the sidelines that require these things to come into the cryptocurrency space.
These are bold claims, and if realized, could indeed represent a significant leap forward for blockchain technology.
That is the last generation we need. Because at that point, everything is just iteration. At that point, everything is just, is it the right asset or is it the right partner? But this is what's going to bring the medical records in. This is what's going to bring ESG in with supply chains and measure the carbon of every business in the world.
The integration of medical records into blockchain systems could revolutionize healthcare data management, improving patient care while ensuring data privacy. Similarly, using blockchain for ESG tracking could bring unprecedented transparency to corporate sustainability efforts.
This is what's going to bring the financial markets in because you don't have to reveal your trading strategies to trade on chain. This is what's going to allow you to have DAOs that live 100% on chain because the DAOs, for the first time ever, can keep a secret. And thus, a real business can be on chain.
The potential for bringing traditional financial markets onto blockchain platforms is particularly exciting. If achieved, it could lead to more efficient, transparent, and accessible financial markets. However, it's important to note that such a transition would face significant regulatory and technical challenges. Hoskinson concludes his speech with a call for collaboration in the crypto industry.
Great things in life come as a result of working together and cooperating with each other. The Apollo mission had 1 million people work on it.
Hoskinson's call for collaboration is crucial.
And those people are proud because the end result was that they got to go to the moon. We want to go to the moon and beyond in crypto. We have to start working with each other And we do that by giving each other incentives to do so.
The blockchain space has often been characterized by competition and tribalism, with different projects and their supporters often at odds with each other. To achieve the ambitious goals of the fourth generation blockchain, such as integrating with real-world systems and bringing trillions of dollars of assets onto these platforms, collaboration among governments, businesses, developers, and blockchain networks will be essential. It's clear that Charles Hoskinson sees privacy and identity as the key to unlocking blockchain's full potential. But what do you think? Is Hoskinson on the right track, or are there other hurdles we need to overcome? One thing's for sure, blockchain space never stands still. Whether it's the fourth generation or something entirely different, we're bound to see some exciting developments in the coming years. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.